Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about your pitch of your voice. So that's when your voice rises or falls. And we're going to talk about how you use the pitch of your voice when asking questions. Most people think that when you ask questions, your voice always rises at the end, and that is not true. There's four ways that you use your voice when you're asking questions, depending on the type of questions you're asking. One is fall, when it goes down at the end, rise, when it goes up at the end, fall rise, so it falls usually midpoint and rises at the end, and then rise fall, rises and then falls at the end. So when do we use these? There are more than one example for each, but today I'm just going to give you one example and you can practice. For fall at the end, it's usually when we use WH questions: who, what, where, when, why, which, and then also how. So for an example of this is, when are we going? When are we going? For rise in pitch, it's usually when there's short questions at the end of a statement. An example of this is, we're going to the movies tonight, aren't we? Or, it's going to be raining this weekend, isn't it? Fall rise. That's when you want to introduce a contrast or show that you're not finished yet. So, do you prefer coffee or do you prefer tea? So you were actually showing that you're not finished. Your question. Contrast might be, are the curtains black or are they white? That you're showing a contrast there. And the last one is rise and fall. That's typically or often used when there's a choice. So, do you want to go to the movies or out to eat? Do you want to buy Lego or do you want to buy a new game? So, that's it for some examples of when you use pitch, the correct pitch, with certain types of questions. If you have any questions, please drop me a line and I'll be happy to help you. Have a good day, afternoon, or evening.